Welcome to today's webinar. This is an Oracle ERP feature focus in which we'll be covering mobile applications. My name's Jim Venn. The mobile enablement of Oracle E-Business Suite is becoming an essential feature for many organizations and an expectation for users. Version 1 are receiving a lot of inquiries on the topic, which is why I'm standing figuratively in front of you today. During this webinar, we'll focus on the features, functionality and rollout of some of the most popular mobile applications available for E-Business Suite version 12.1.3 and later, including Oracle Cloud Applications, otherwise known as Fusion. We'll also take a look at Oracle's mobile application roadmap and release strategy, providing you with information on what apps are available today and on the horizon. As there's much to cover, I've not allowed time for Q&A. However, I'll provide you with contact details at the end of the presentation should you have any follow-up questions or inquiries. And we'll also distribute the slides and a recording of the webinar after today's session. Okay, let's briefly run through the agenda. I'll firstly provide an overview of the mobile applications that are currently available for Oracle E-Business Suite, and then Oracle's mobile applications release strategy. We'll then take a look at what's involved in implementing and deploying mobile applications, and then move on to the hot topic of security. Then Oracle's mobile applications roadmap, and finally an overview of some specific mobile applications that are currently available and the functionality they provide. On to the first topic, a mobile apps overview. As you can see on the left of the slide, there are 22 Oracle mobile applications currently available for the smartphone or tablet. I won't go through them all now, as we'll take a closer look at the selection of them during the last topic area of the webinar, but this hopefully gives you an idea of what's available now to help facilitate mobile enablement of user functions within the associated modules. In terms of compatibility, these are all available for E-Business Suite version 12.1.3 and higher, and supports both iOS and Android platforms. I'll also make mention that there's no additional license costs associated with these apps. A device simply needs to be in the hands of a person that is a licensed E-Business Suite user, and that's it. One final point is that all of the applications have been built upon Oracle's mobile applications framework, with the exception of the 4 highlighted in red. I'll talk more about that in this next slide. Oracle's mobile applications release strategy is firstly to develop a common set of applications built using Oracle's mobile application framework, which is essentially a tool set for designing and developing mobile applications. This then allows Oracle to make available new applications as well as updates in the form of server-side and client patches for existing apps via consolidated releases on a regular basis. There are currently 18 applications included within the latest release 6. Those 4 apps highlighted in red on the previous slide that we can see listed here on the right, being Expenses, Field Services, Service Manager, and Supply Chain apps, represent those that are not built upon Oracle's mobile application framework. So these are handled separately through their own off-cycle release schedules. The third webinar topic is implementing and deploying mobile applications. We'll begin by splitting implementation into 2 areas, database on the left and end-user clients on the right. On the database side, we first install any server-side patches for our mobile applications. Then perform mobile apps configuration on the server, which may involve granting mobile apps access roles to certain responsibilities. And there may be some additional setup steps for those clients that have an enterprise distribution platform. I'll talk more about that in the next slide. And finally, communicating to end users how they can obtain the latest version of their client application. Which leads us on to the end user client steps, which is simply to download the latest version of the app from either the Apple Store or Google Play, depending on whether they have an iOS or Android device, or from your enterprise site if your organization has chosen that as your preferred delivery method. The user then logs in via the app to connect to the eBusiness Suite instance, as well as configure any app-related settings where this is a first-time use. Expanding on the download options a bit further, users have the option to download apps directly from the public stores, whether this be Apple Store or Google Play. However, users will be prompted to update apps as and when Oracle release new versions of the mobile application, and the organization has no real control over this. The potential downside is that when Oracle release an update, it may also require server-side patches and possibly additional configuration before the mobile app will function. Therefore, if an organization chooses to use the public store method for delivery, it will need to ensure that any related patches have been properly tested and applied in conjunction with the new mobile release. The alternative is an organization may wish to develop its own enterprise distribution delivery method, which acts as a central repository to maintain greater control so that new applications are only made available to users when the organization is ready. The enterprise distribution method supports version control and also allows for corporate branding, which may be important to some organizations. There's also some handy functionality contained within the eBusiness Suite itself via the Mobile Applications Manager module that allows mobile app administrators to track client installations by user, operating system, and device model, as well as some other metrics such as daily usage and so on, so an organization can get a good idea of how widely a mobile app is being used and how up-to-date client versions are. This is also the module that is used to perform any mobile application configuration tasks. It's also possible to customize existing mobile apps or develop your own from the ground up. Mobile Application Archives is a way of enabling client-side customizations by allowing an organization to copy an existing out-of-the-box mobile app, tweak it using the Mobile Application Framework tool, and then distribute it as their own custom app. In terms of creating new apps, Oracle's Mobile Application Framework can also be used to create apps from scratch. And just as standard apps do, custom apps can also utilize Oracle's EBS Mobile REST services as a communication method for transferring and synchronizing data between a device and the EBS instance. Which brings us onto the next topic, which is security. A question most organizations are likely to ask is, well, what happens if a user loses their device? Apart from any inherent device security such as passcode or fingerprint locking, Oracle provides two methods for a mobile device to connect securely to an eBusiness Suite instance. Either via an eBusiness Suite demilitarized zone or via a VPN gateway, which removes any direct access by a smartphone or tablet to the environment should it fall into the wrong hands. And Oracle are looking at introducing a third option, which is via Enterprise Mobile Management Gateway. Before we move on to our final section, which is an overview of specific mobile applications, let's take a closer look at Oracle's EBS Mobile Apps roadmap. Back in June 2014, EBS Mobile Apps was launched, which simply included the two applications, Approvals and Time Cards, and only for iOS. 4 months later, 10 new apps were added, plus updates to the original 2. March 2015 saw the introduction of Android support with Mobile Release 3. And in October 2015, we have enhancements around security and deployment, as well as the first of the HR-related apps. In December 2015, the Mobile Application Framework was made available to us for custom app development, which is a significant milestone. And March 2016 saw added Mobile Applications Manager module functionality within the core application itself that we viewed at briefly earlier. Fast forward to now, there are 18 apps available on Oracle's mobile application framework, which we've already discussed, with an additional 4 as we covered previously, making 22 in total. So as you can see, within the space of just over 2 years, Oracle's mobile offering has gone from essentially nothing to quite a substantial number of applications, and Oracle are constantly delivering enhancements to existing apps, with new applications being released on a regular basis. So looking ahead, Oracle plan to provide enterprise mobile management support as well as EBS REST services that has been optimized for the mobile device, plus enhancements to the apps you can see listed here. And this brings us to the final section of the webinar, which is a brief look at some specific applications currently available. On the self-service side, we have mobile approvals. Firstly, let me apologize for the clarity of some of the screenshots, but hopefully you'll be able to see, working from left to right, that here authorizers are presented with a summary of approvals grouped by approval type on their device. From here they can navigate into a list of pending approvals for a given type, select a specific item for which they are provided the key pieces of information to make a decision, and then select the appropriate action, whether that be to approve, reject, or request further information on that approval. I'll just make mention of the fact that, as you can appreciate, the information provided has been optimized to take into account the smallest screen size of a phone or tablet compared with a full-size desktop or laptop. Therefore, you may not be presented with all the information that you might have had you accessed via the core product, but hopefully enough to make an informed decision in the majority of cases. One of the key features of the mobile approvals app is that we have one application for handling a wide range of approval types, originating from a variety of modules, so we can deal with everything in one place. Next is mobile expenses. With the mobile expenses app, we can create an expense report, attach any supporting documentation, and then submit for approval and payment. The mobile expenses app is also a good example of how Oracle makes the most of the features of a device. For example, you can take a photo of a receipt using the device's camera and then attach it to an expense report. Mobile expenses also uses the device's GPS tracker to record distances traveled for mileage claims. And mobile expenses also supports voice recognition. So the device's mic can be used to create an expense report verbally. The mobile time cards app is very useful for engineers out in the field as an example, as it allows them to access the device's calendar where they may have pre-booked appointments that when completed can be turned into items on their timesheet. This allows an engineer to fill out their timesheet quickly and easily as it happens, rather than having to try and remember how much time was spent where retrospectively at the end of a day or a week. With mobile iProcurement, excuse me, a requester, approver or buyer is able to review requisitions as well as contact other associated parties using the device's phone, email or messaging system via the app. And receipts can also be processed simply by selecting the requisition, reviewing the line and confirming the receipt of the item or items. Mobile self-service HR offers a number of functions for employees and managers, which I'll run through quickly in the following slides. Employees can update and maintain contact information, including taking and uploading profile photos and the like for collaboration purposes. An employee can also create, view and maintain absence information like notification of sick leave or holiday requests. And they can also view current and historical pay slips at either a summary or detailed level and save to PDF for forwarding or printing. Managers can view various HR-related information of their team members, including work and employment history, and absences as well. The mobile learning app allows employees to browse, review and rate training courses offered by the organisation. And we have Mobile Person Directory, which provides access to employee profiles, organisational charts and so on. Under Enterprise Information, we have mobile sales orders for reviewing sales order information and allowing the user to contact customers regarding the status of their orders, again using any one of the communication methods of the smartphone via the app. Mobile Inventory provides the user with real-time information on stock levels, and through the device's camera, barcode scanning is supported. And within the core line of business applications, we have Mobile Project Manager. Mobile Project Manager presents PMs with dashboards highlighting project status, with drill-down capability to transactional level information, as well as being able to access contact information of project team members. Mobile Discrete Production Supervisor delivers work order information, so a supervisor can see at a glance work order statuses and act on any issues to take whatever steps are necessary to resolve them, including contacting key people in the process. Mobile Field Services supports field engineers by providing them with navigation using the device's inbuilt GPS system for best route. And the touchscreen feature can also be used to capture signatures for task completions. And finally, mobile maintenance again employs the device's GPS and map features to locate and track an organisation's assets and associated work orders. Okay, that concludes today's webinar. As a wrap-up, here are some of the key points that I hope you'll take away with you. There's a greater demand and expectation for companies to support a mobile workforce, allowing them to work on the move. Security is a prime concern, so decisions will need to be taken around how access will be restricted to the environment, as well as protecting the devices themselves. And Oracle has invested heavily in developing its mobile applications offering for eBusiness Suite, and that doesn't look to slow down anytime soon, with new apps being released on a regular basis. Streamlined views of the information have been developed to cater for mobile devices due to smaller real estate space of the smartphone and tablet screens, so don't expect the mobile apps to offer quite as much functionality as the core product. And lastly, there are no additional license costs associated with the mobile apps as long as there is an existing user license for the core product. Okay, I'm afraid that's all we have time for, but if you have any questions or wish to inquire further on anything that's been discussed, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much for your time.